In today's video, we're exploring how ancient Stoic philosophers mastered the art of controlling anger and how their timeless wisdom can help us in our modern lives. From the powerful teachings of Marcus Aurelius to the practical advice of Seneca and Epictetus, we'll uncover 10 transformative lessons that will guide you to a more peaceful and balanced life. Stay with us as we journey through these profound insights, learning how to understand our anger, change our perspective, and ultimately regain control over our emotions. By the end of this video, you'll be equipped with practical tools and strategies to handle anger like a true Stoic. So, if you're ready to transform your relationship with anger and find lasting inner peace, keep watching. Let's get started on this empowering journey together. Lesson 1. Understanding the nature of anger. As Marcus Aurelius said, how much more harmful are the consequences of anger than the circumstances that arouse them in us. Anger often leads to actions that are more damaging than the initial cause of the anger. For example, if someone says something hurtful to you, responding with anger might lead to a heated argument, damaged relationships, or even physical altercations. These consequences can be far worse than the initial hurtful comment. Understanding that anger itself is a greater threat than its trigger helps us approach situations more calmly and rationally. Instead of reacting impulsively, we can take a step back, breathe, and think about the best way to respond. By doing so, we can avoid making situations worse and maintain control over our emotions and actions. This approach not only protects our well-being, but also helps us build stronger, more positive relationships with others. Lesson 2. The power of perspective. If you are pained by external things, it is not they that disturb you, but your own judgment of them, and it is in your power to wipe out that judgment now. Marcus Aurelius' anger often comes from how we see things, not the things themselves. For example, if someone cuts you off in traffic, you might feel angry because you think they did it on purpose. But what if they didn't see you or were in a hurry because of an emergency? By changing how we view situations, we can change how we feel about them. It's not the events that make us angry, but how we interpret them. If we can learn to see things differently, we can control our anger. So next time something makes you angry, try to look at it from a different angle and see if it helps you stay calm. Lesson 3. The importance of self-control. As Epictetus said, no man is free who is not master of himself. True freedom comes from self-control. This means that when we can control our emotions and responses, we are truly free. If we let our emotions, like anger, control us, we are not free. We are slaves to our feelings. By mastering our emotions, we can choose how to act instead of reacting impulsively. For example, if someone insults us, we have the power to stay calm and not get angry. This control allows us to think clearly and make better decisions. It also means that we are less likely to say or do things that we might regret later. In short, self-control helps us manage our anger and live more peacefully. When we are in charge of our emotions, we can handle difficult situations without letting anger take over. This makes our lives happier and more harmonious. Lesson 4. Practicing patience. He who has a why to live can bear almost any how. Seneca. Patience is crucial in managing anger. By understanding the deeper purpose behind our actions and reactions, we can tolerate difficulties and frustrations without succumbing to anger. Practicing patience. Patience is an essential virtue when it comes to managing anger. It allows us to respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. But how do we develop patience, especially in a world where we often face challenges and frustrations? Understanding patience. Patience is more than just waiting quietly. It's about maintaining calm and composure even when things don't go our way. When we are patient, we are less likely to react with anger because we have taken the time to understand the situation and our emotions. The importance of purpose. Seneca's quote, "He who has a why to live can bear almost any how," highlights the importance of having a clear purpose or goal in life. When we have a strong sense of purpose, we can endure hardships and setbacks more easily. This purpose acts as a guiding light, helping us navigate through difficult times without losing our temper. Connecting purpose to patience. When we connect our actions to a larger purpose, it becomes easier to practice patience. For example, if you are working towards a long-term goal, like completing a degree or building a business, minor frustrations become less significant. You understand that these small obstacles are just part of the journey. This understanding helps you remain patient and composed. Practical steps to develop patience. Pause and breathe. When you feel anger rising, take a moment to pause and breathe deeply. This helps calm your mind and body, giving you time to think before you act. Reframe the situation. Try to see the situation from a different perspective. Ask yourself if it will matter in the long run. Often, things that seem important in the moment are not as significant as they appear. Set realistic expectations. Understand that things won't always go as planned. By setting realistic expectations, you reduce the likelihood of feeling frustrated or angry when things go wrong. Focus on the bigger picture. Remind yourself of your long-term goals and purpose. Keeping the bigger picture in mind can help you stay patient during challenging times. Handling daily frustrations. Life is full of small, daily frustrations that can test our patience. Whether it's traffic, waiting in line, or dealing with difficult people, these situations can easily lead to anger. However, by practicing patience, we can manage these frustrations more effectively. Traffic and delays. Instead of getting angry about traffic, use the time to listen to a podcast, audiobooks, or practice mindfulness. This makes the experience more productive and less frustrating. Waiting in line. View waiting as an opportunity to practice patience. Use this time to reflect on your day, plan your next steps, or simply observe your surroundings. Dealing with difficult people. Understand that everyone has their own struggles. Try to empathize with others and respond with kindness. This not only helps you stay calm, but can also diffuse potentially tense situations. Long-term benefits of patience. Practicing patience has long-term benefits for both your mental and physical health. It reduces stress, lowers blood pressure, and improves overall well-being. When you are patient, you are less likely to experience the negative effects of anger, such as strained relationships and regret over hasty actions. Cultivating patience in relationships. Patience is particularly important in relationships. Whether with family, friends, or colleagues, practicing patience helps build stronger, more positive connections. It allows you to listen actively, understand different perspectives, and resolve conflicts amicably. Active listening. Pay attention to what the other person is saying without interrupting. This shows respect and helps you understand their point of view. Empathy. Try to put yourself in the other person's shoes. Understanding their feelings and experiences can help you respond with kindness rather than anger. Forgiveness. Be willing to forgive mistakes and let go of grudges. Holding on to anger only harms you and the relationship. Teaching patience to others. Patience is a valuable skill that can be taught and encouraged in others. Whether you are a parent, teacher, or leader, you can help those around you develop patience. Lead by example. Demonstrate patience in your own actions. Others are more likely to follow your lead when they see you handling situations calmly. Encourage reflection. Teach others to reflect on their actions and emotions. This helps them understand the importance of patience and how to practice it. Provide support. Offer guidance and support when others are struggling. Sometimes just knowing that someone understands and is there to help can make a big difference. Overcoming impatience. Impatience can be a significant barrier to managing anger. Overcoming impatience involves recognizing when it occurs and actively working to counter it. Identify triggers. Pay attention to situations that trigger your impatience. Understanding these triggers can help you prepare and respond more calmly. Practice delayed gratification. Work on delaying gratification in small ways. For example, wait a few extra minutes before checking your phone or resist the urge to interrupt someone. Mindfulness meditation. Mindfulness meditation is a powerful tool for developing patience. It helps you become more aware of your thoughts and feelings, allowing you to respond more thoughtfully. Gratitude can also play a significant role in developing patience. When we focus on what we are grateful for, it shifts our attention away from frustrations and helps us maintain a positive outlook. Gratitude journaling. Keep a journal where you write down things you are grateful for each day. This practice helps you appreciate the good in your life and reduces the tendency to get angry over small issues. Expressing gratitude. Take the time to express gratitude to others. A simple thank you can go a long way in building positive relationships and fostering a patient mindset. Lesson 5. Recognizing the transience of life. Life is fleeting, and our time is too valuable to waste on anger. Recognizing the shortness of life encourages us to focus on what truly matters and let go of petty grievances. Understanding the shortness of life. Life is short. This is a simple yet profound truth that we often forget in the hustle and bustle of our daily routines. Our days are limited, and every moment that passes is one we can never get back. The Stoic philosophers, such as Marcus Aurelius and Seneca, constantly reminded themselves and others of the brevity of life. By acknowledging this, they believed we could live more meaningful and fulfilling lives. Valuing our time. When we truly understand that our time is finite, we begin to see how precious each moment is. Every second wasted on anger is a second we could have spent doing something more valuable. Think about how many hours, days, or even years people spend being angry about things that, in the grand scheme of things, are insignificant. By valuing our time, we can make conscious decisions to use it more wisely. Focusing on what matters. Recognizing the transience of life helps us prioritize what is truly important. When we are aware of how short life is, we start to focus more on our relationships, our passions, and our personal growth. We realize that holding on to anger over minor issues only detracts from the joy and satisfaction we could be experiencing. Instead of dwelling on negative emotions, we can choose to spend our time building positive connections and pursuing our goals. Letting go of petty grievances. Holding on to anger often means holding on to petty grievances, small, insignificant issues that do not truly matter in the long run. These grievances can consume a lot of our emotional energy, leaving us drained and unhappy. By letting go of these minor annoyances, we free ourselves to focus on the bigger picture. We can redirect our energy towards more productive and positive endeavors. Living with purpose. When we understand that our time is limited, we are motivated to live with purpose. We become more intentional about our actions and our attitudes. Instead of letting anger dictate our behavior, we can choose to act with kindness, patience, and understanding. This shift in perspective not only improves our own lives, but also positively impacts those around us. Embracing the present moment. Recognizing the shortness of life encourages us to live in the present moment. Often, anger is rooted in dwelling on past events or worrying about the future. By focusing on the present, we can reduce the hold that anger has on us. We can appreciate the here and now, finding joy and contentment in the present, rather than allowing anger to cloud our minds. Finding joy in everyday life. When we let go of anger and embrace the present moment, we open ourselves up to finding joy in everyday life. Simple pleasures, such as spending time with loved ones, enjoying nature or pursuing a hobby, become more meaningful. We begin to see that life is filled with opportunities for happiness that we often overlook when we are consumed by anger. Building stronger relationships. Anger can be incredibly damaging to our relationships. It can create distance, foster resentment, and lead to conflict. By recognizing the fleeting nature of life, we are reminded to cherish our relationships and treat others with kindness and respect. This mindset helps us to build stronger, healthier connections with the people we care about. Cultivating a positive mindset. Letting go of anger and focusing on what truly matters helps us cultivate a more positive mindset. We become more resilient in the face of challenges and better equipped to handle stress. A positive mindset allows us to approach life with optimism and gratitude, making it easier to navigate difficult situations without succumbing to anger. Lesson 6. The role of empathy. Whenever you are angry, be assured that it is not only a present evil, but that you have increased a habit. Epictetus. Anger can become a habit if we're not careful. By practicing empathy and understanding the perspectives of others, we can break the cycle of habitual anger and cultivate compassion instead. Anger is a powerful emotion that can easily take control of our thoughts and actions. When we get angry, we often think it's just a reaction to something happening in the moment. However, as Epictetus points out, anger isn't just a present evil, something bad happening right now. It can also become a habit, a repeated way of responding to situations that we don't like. Habits are behaviors we perform regularly and automatically, often without thinking. Just like good habits, bad habits form over time with repetition. If we respond to annoyances and frustrations with anger repeatedly, it becomes our go-to reaction. This makes it harder to respond in a calm and thoughtful way when we face similar situations in the future. Instead, we get stuck in a cycle where anger is our first response. Breaking this cycle of habitual anger requires effort and awareness. One powerful way to do this is by practicing empathy. Empathy means putting ourselves in someone else's shoes, trying to understand their feelings, thoughts, and perspectives. When we do this, we can see things from their point of view, which often changes how we feel about the situation. For example, if someone cuts us off in traffic, our immediate reaction might be anger. We might think they're being rude or reckless. But if we take a moment to consider why they might have done that, our perspective can change. Maybe they're rushing to an emergency, or perhaps they didn't see us. Understanding these possibilities can reduce our anger and replace it with compassion. Empathy doesn't just help in one-off situations. It can transform how we interact with people every day. When we practice empathy regularly, it becomes easier to understand others and respond kindly, even when we're frustrated. This practice helps to break the habit of anger and replace it with more positive, compassionate responses. To cultivate empathy, start by listening more and talking less. When someone is speaking to you, really listen to what they're saying. Try to understand their feelings and why they might feel that way. Ask yourself questions like, what might this person be experiencing right now? Or why might they be acting this way? By doing this, you shift your focus from your own feelings of anger to a more balanced understanding of the situation. Another way to develop empathy is to remind yourself that everyone has their struggles and bad days. Just as you have moments when you're not at your best, so do others. When someone's actions trigger your anger, think about the possible reasons behind their behavior. This can make it easier to respond with kindness rather than irritation. Empathy also involves self-compassion. Recognize that you're not perfect and that it's okay to have moments of anger. What matters is how you handle those moments. When you do get angry, take a step back and think about what triggered your anger. Reflect on whether there was another way to respond. This self-awareness helps you learn and grow, making it less likely you'll react with anger in the future. Practicing empathy is like building a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. Start with small steps. When you feel anger bubbling up, pause and take a deep breath. Remind yourself to consider the other person's perspective. Over time, these small efforts will become a natural part of how you interact with others, reducing your habitual anger and fostering a more compassionate outlook. Lesson 7. Detachment from external events. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Stoicism, a philosophy founded in ancient Greece, teaches us a powerful and timeless lesson. We have control over our own minds, but not over outside events. This concept is crucial for managing anger. Often we become angry because we react strongly to things happening around us, events that we cannot control. By learning to detach from these external events and instead focus on our internal state, we can prevent anger from taking root and taking over our lives. Understanding control. First, it's important to understand what we can control and what we cannot. According to Stoicism, the only things we truly have control over are our own thoughts, emotions, and actions. Everything else, other people's actions, the weather, traffic, unexpected delays, is beyond our control. When we try to control these external factors, we set ourselves up for frustration and anger because it's impossible to control the uncontrollable. Practical example. Imagine you are stuck in traffic, late for an important meeting. Your initial reaction might be to get angry at the traffic, at the other drivers, or at the situation itself. However, no matter how much you fume or shout, the traffic won't magically clear up. By focusing on your anger, you're wasting energy on something you can't change. Instead, Stoicism suggests that you focus on what you can control, your reaction. You can choose to take deep breaths, listen to calming music, or use the time to think through your meeting notes. By changing your perspective, you keep your peace of mind intact. The power of perspective. Detachment from external events doesn't mean ignoring them or pretending they don't exist. It means acknowledging them without letting them control your emotional state. This shift in perspective can transform your life. When you realize that external events are outside your control, you free yourself from the emotional turmoil they can cause. You start to see these events as neutral, neither good nor bad in themselves. It's your reaction to them that gives them power over you. Daily practice. Incorporating this Stoic practice into your daily life involves a few steps. Awareness. Begin by becoming aware of your thoughts and reactions. Notice when you start to feel angry or frustrated. What triggered this emotion? Is it something within your control, or is it an external event? Reflection. Take a moment to reflect. Ask yourself if your anger is helping the situation. Often you'll find that it's not. Recognize that while you can't control the event, you can control how you respond to it. Choice. Make a conscious choice to respond differently. Instead of reacting with anger, choose a more productive response. This might mean taking a few deep breaths, counting to 10, or even stepping away from the situation for a moment. Practice. Like any skill, mastering your response to external events takes practice. The more you practice detachment, the easier it becomes. Start with small, everyday annoyances and work your way up to more challenging situations. Benefits of detachment. The benefits of detaching from external events are profound. You'll find that you are less stressed and more at peace. Situations that once triggered intense anger now seem manageable. You become more resilient, able to face life's challenges with a calm and balanced mind. Over time, this approach not only reduces your anger, but also improves your overall well-being and happiness. Lesson 8. The virtue of forgiveness. Anger, if not restrained, is frequently more hurtful to us than the injury that provokes it. Seneca forgiveness is a powerful tool in managing anger. By letting go of grudges and forgiving others, we free ourselves from the destructive power of anger and promote inner peace. Lesson 9. Accepting imperfection. To live a good life, we have the potential for it, if we can learn to be indifferent to what makes no difference. Accepting that imperfection is a part of life is essential for managing our expectations and reducing anger. Life is inherently unpredictable and full of imperfections. Understanding and embracing this reality can help us remain calm and collected even when things don't go as planned. Often we get angry because we expect things to be perfect or people to behave in a certain way. When these expectations are not met, it leads to frustration and anger. For instance, if we expect a perfect performance at work or school and things go wrong, we might feel upset. If we expect others to always agree with us or act kindly and they don't, we might feel disappointed and angry. By recognizing that perfection is an unrealistic expectation, we can adjust our mindset to be more forgiving and understanding. One key aspect of accepting imperfection is learning to focus on what truly matters. Many of the things that upset us are actually quite trivial in the grand scheme of things. For example, getting stuck in traffic, experiencing minor delays, or dealing with someone else's bad mood are everyday occurrences that can irritate us. However, if we take a step back, we realize these are small inconveniences that don't have a lasting impact on our lives. By letting go of these minor annoyances, we free ourselves from unnecessary stress and anger. It's also important to practice patience with ourselves. We all make mistakes and have our flaws. Instead of being harsh and critical, we should strive to be kind and compassionate towards ourselves. This self-acceptance helps us stay calm and balanced even when we fall short of our own expectations. By treating ourselves with the same understanding we would offer a friend, we can reduce feelings of frustration and anger. Furthermore, accepting imperfection helps us develop resilience. Life is full of challenges and setbacks, and how we respond to them shapes our overall well-being. By accepting that things won't always go perfectly, we can better prepare ourselves to handle difficulties with grace and composure. This resilience allows us to bounce back from setbacks without becoming overwhelmed by anger or frustration. Another aspect of this lesson is learning to let go of the need for control. Often we get angry because we feel powerless in certain situations. Accepting that we can't control everything helps us relinquish this need for control and focus instead on what we can influence, our own actions and reactions. This shift in perspective can significantly reduce feelings of anger and helplessness. Practicing gratitude is another powerful way to embrace imperfection. By focusing on what we have rather than what we lack, we cultivate a positive mindset. In relationships, Accepting imperfection means understanding that everyone has their flaws and limitations. Expecting others to be perfect sets us up for disappointment and anger. By recognizing that everyone is doing their best with the resources they have, we can approach relationships with more compassion and patience. This understanding helps us communicate more effectively and resolve conflicts without resorting to anger. Lastly, mindfulness plays a crucial role in accepting imperfection. By staying present and fully engaged in the moment, we become more aware of our thoughts and emotions. This awareness allows us to notice when we're getting upset over something minor and redirect our focus to what's truly important. Mindfulness helps us maintain a calm and balanced mindset, even in the face of life's imperfections. Lesson 10. The practice of mindfulness. He suffers more than necessary who suffers before it is necessary. Mindfulness is a powerful tool for managing anger. It involves staying present in the moment and being fully aware of our thoughts, feelings, and sensations as they arise. By practicing mindfulness, we can catch our anger early and prevent it from growing into a bigger problem. Mindfulness teaches us to pay attention to what is happening right now without judgment. Instead of worrying about the past or the future, we focus on the present. This simple shift in focus can make a big difference in how we handle our emotions. When we are mindful, we notice our anger as soon as it starts to build. We become aware of the physical signs, like a faster heartbeat or clenched fists, and the thoughts that fuel our anger. Recognizing these early signs gives us the chance to take a step back and choose a different response. For example, imagine you are stuck in traffic and starting to feel frustrated. Instead of letting your anger grow, mindfulness allows you to notice your irritation right away. You might take a deep breath, remind yourself that getting angry won't make the traffic move faster, and choose to listen to some calming music instead. This way, you prevent your anger from escalating and ruining your day. Practicing mindfulness also helps us understand our triggers. We start to see patterns in what makes us angry and can prepare ourselves to handle those situations better. If you know that certain things always make you upset, like a particular person's behavior or a specific type of situation, you can plan ahead on how to stay calm when they occur. Mindfulness is not about ignoring our anger or pretending it doesn't exist. It's about acknowledging our feelings without letting them control us. We learn to accept our emotions as they are without adding extra stress or judgment. This acceptance helps us respond to anger in a healthier way. There are many simple ways to practice mindfulness. One effective method is deep breathing. When you feel anger rising, take a few slow, deep breaths. Focus on the sensation of the air entering and leaving your body. This can help calm your mind and body, making it easier to think clearly and act wisely. Another technique is to ground yourself in the present moment. Pay attention to your surroundings, using your senses to bring you back to the here and now. Notice the colors, sounds, and textures around you. This helps break the cycle of angry thoughts and brings you back to a state of calm. Mindfulness can also be practiced through regular meditation. Setting aside a few minutes each day to sit quietly and observe your thoughts can build your ability to stay present. During meditation, you might focus on your breath, a mantra, or simply notice the thoughts that come and go without getting caught up in them. Over time, this practice strengthens your ability to remain calm and centered, even in stressful situations. In addition to these techniques, it's helpful to incorporate mindfulness into your daily activities. Whether you're eating, walking, or doing chores, try to stay fully present and engaged in what you're doing. This not only enhances your enjoyment of these activities, but also makes mindfulness a natural part of your life. Practicing mindfulness regularly can lead to long-term benefits. It reduces overall stress, improves emotional regulation, and enhances our ability to handle difficult situations with grace. When we are mindful, we are better equipped to deal with life's challenges without getting overwhelmed by anger. Mindfulness is a practical and effective way to manage anger. By staying present and aware, we can catch our anger early, understand our triggers, and choose healthier responses. This practice helps us maintain a sense of calm, reduce unnecessary suffering, and live a more peaceful life. Remember Seneca's wisdom. He suffers more than necessary, who suffers before it is necessary. By practicing mindfulness, we can avoid adding to our suffering and find a more balanced and harmonious way to live. If you found these Stoic lessons on managing and stopping anger helpful, don't forget to hit the like button and share this video with others who might benefit from these timeless teachings. For more insightful content on personal growth, emotional well-being, and practical philosophy, make sure to subscribe to our channel and click the bell icon so you never miss an update. We'd love to hear from you. Share your thoughts and experiences with anger management in the comments below. How have you applied these Stoic principles in your own life? Let's continue the conversation and support each other on this journey toward inner peace. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.